here. My name is Tamara Bain, and I am the chief negotiator for our district. I've been in the district for about 11 years, but even longer than that because I was born and raised here. So we appreciate all of you coming this evening. As our motto says, we are taking care of our greatest assets. We feel like our greatest assets are our teachers and our students. And so we want to make sure the best people are making decisions for our kids and our teachers. So that's why we find it very important for us to be here tonight to make sure that you are giving forth an informed vote. So the way this will go tonight is we'll start off kind of with an introduction question that will give them a little bit longer to answer. And then after that, each question they'll have 1 minute to respond. So about 10 questions. So we plan on right at an hour. We do ask, it's kind of later in the evening, please don't corner our candidates this evening. They have families to get home to. If you have questions for them, I know that they all have Facebook pages that you're welcome to go to and send them messages of other things, and they may have even given you other ways to contact them if you have further questions. But we sincerely appreciate their time tonight and want to respect that. So with that being said, I do want to tell all four of you, thank you so much for being here, for having the courage to run. Like I said, we are very invested in our students and our teachers, and we want to make sure the best people are there. We know your time is volunteer, so we really appreciate what you're signing up to do. So with that, I will introduce Chad Kaneen. He is a retired Winterset teacher, kind of retired. He comes back and subs for us, so, but he was also a member of the WCEA for many years. So one more plug before I pass it off. Next Friday night, November 10th, we are pairing with the Paw Pantry to do a family-friendly event night. We're going to be showing A Bug's Life. Kiwanis is coming to make Brenner. That's not a misprint or a mispronunciation. They're going to do pancake breakfast supper for you. It's free will offering, bring canned goods for our Paw Pantry. It'll be a fun night. Lots of other sponsors. Please watch social media for more details. So with that, here is Chad. Yes.
Do they know that?
Nope, but you can tell.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Tamara. And also, I'd like to thank you as well. Not from Winterset, but I spent 20 years teaching here. My father served on my home school's school board for 18 years, and the 18 years before that was his uncle, my great uncle. So I understand the time it takes to be on the school board. So I'd like to thank virtually all four of you for committing to this. So thank you. Yeah, like Tamara said, I don't want to sit at the table because they're the ones running for the school board, but I also didn't want to be the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain and you're wondering where that voice is coming from. Yeah, the first question that Tamara says we'll give each person 2 minutes, and then after that each question is 1 minute. Scrolls backwards from the laptop I had. Okay, here's question number 1, and the way we're going to do this is we'll just start at the very end on question 1, then on question 2 will be the next person and the next person, so nobody has to be the very first person to answer every question. But here is question number 1. Why are you running for school board, and what relevant experience do you have with Winterset Community School District?
Hi, my name is Jessica Hobbs. Is the volume okay?
Yep.
All right. I am running for the school board because of my kids and all of yours as well. I want to make sure that we're giving them the best foundation that we possibly can. And I want to support the teachers along the way and ensure that they have a safe environment and they're supported in order to do their jobs and do what they do best. And my qualifications to serve, I earned my MBA from Rockhurst University. I'm from Marshalltown, Iowa originally, but moved back up here after graduate school. And I've got a lot of work experience that I think can be applied to the school board, from budgeting and managing complex turnkey projects to really throughout my whole career in the heating and cooling business. I've worked with diverse groups of people and different tradespeople, from union to not, to roofing contractors, to plumbers, pipe fitters, to engineers. So I've really spent a lot of time working with different knowledge bases and helping to streamline all that information so everybody can be on the same page, working toward the same goal. But ultimately, I'm running for all the kids, and that's why I'm here.
I am Gina Robinson. I have been involved in Winterset schools since I was 4, so about 59 years. As a student, as a teacher, as a parent, as a now a grandparent. I'm running because it's important for me to give back and take care of the kids that are in the district. I took a break from education when I retired. It was time to pass the torch to someone younger and a different era, and I feel like now is my time. I've had some time to look at the district and see the great things that they're doing. My husband and I own a family farm, and I feel like I can bring my age, my perspective of all those different categories into what's best for the kids for our district.
Hi, my name is Emily Rethmeyer, and this is our 3rd year in the district. My husband Ross is from Winterset and graduated from here. We have 3 kids, ranging from elementary school to junior high, and a little one that's been staying with us since January, and she attends We Learners. And the reason I decided to run was basically I've been able to long-term sub and substitute in the schools, but I wanted a different way to support the teachers and the kids. And so with having kids in all of the schools now, it's been interesting to see just all the things that they're going through and how the teachers have faced different things. And I just thought, the school board provides a different way to support them.
Hi, I'm Samantha Hollingsworth. I'm going to start with my relevant experiences with the district. Well, I grew up here. I'm a lifelong resident of Madison County, and I went to school in Winterset and am a 2004 graduate. I attended Simpson College, where I earned a degree in mathematics and secondary education. My family and I now reside south of town. My husband is also a graduate of Winterset High School 2001. And together we have 4 kids that are now all currently in the district, ages 4, 6, 8, and 10. So I've got a preschooler, a 3rd grader, kindergartner, and a 5th grader. I have worked as a classroom teacher. I taught mathematics to high schoolers and junior high students. I have subbed in our district in each of the 4 buildings. I have served on various school committees, including the Strategic Planning Committee that worked on the profile of a graduate, and I'm also looking forward to serving on the Authentic Learning Task Force that's coming up. So why am I running? I take a lot of pride in our community, having grown up here and being raised here and coming back here. I think we have phenomenal schools, we have phenomenal families, and I just want to be a part of that. I want to help guide us, to continue to guide our district in a positive direction. Obviously, I'm very vested with my 4 children that are going to be here, growing up here, and getting their education here. I want to ensure that our student learning is at the forefront and their success is the focus. Thank you.
I think that answered the question if this is timed, and I forgot to say that there will be a bell go off after the time. Thank you. Question number 2 is, now we're down to 1-minute answers. What do you believe is the role of a school board member?
The role of a school board member, I believe, is to listen and work together with the other administrators, the superintendent of the district, and to do what's best for kids. Kids are at the forefront, teachers are the support of those kids, and we just need to do what's best for the kids in our district.
I of school board member, I'm still kind of learning. I had an idea of it before I began or started to run, and the more I'm learning, I think I've heard that they need to be able to listen, like Gina said, to everyone in the community, not just one group. They also need to be willing to collaborate, to understand that not everyone's going to have the same ideas, values, or beliefs, and they need to be able to understand that we still can come to a solution. I think the role of a school board member too is to keep a level head and be willing to admit when they maybe don't know something, and be willing to research, talk to others, and find out the answer before just trying to do something on their own.
I think one of the roles as a school board member is to first off be approachable and listen, be a voice for the community. We want to provide guidance and support for the district, as well as ensure that, evaluate that our budget and our superintendent. Obviously working together with the board towards common sense solutions for students is a big part of it. So listening along with having a voice as well. But first and foremost, also being an advocate for our schools and for education in general.
Well, if you ask my daughters this question, it's a very different answer, but I won't give you all that info. But those are all wonderful responses, and I agree wholeheartedly. I think the collaboration piece is huge, that we need to unite all these different groups and all these different skill sets to ensure that we're all moving toward the same goal. And along with that, of course, is budget responsibility and fiscal responsibility to ensure we're spending tax dollars wisely. And thankfully, I think we've had a district that has been very fiscally responsible for a long time and been able to reduce the impact to the taxpayers, which is more important now, more than ever, given the inflation that we're facing. So overall, I think they all had wonderful responses. I would concur. And just one other thing that I would add, though, is that as a school board, I think we need to make sure that we're adaptable, as evidenced by, for example, COVID. You know, there could be things that come out of left field that we need to be prepared to respond to and gather information and work together to respond to.
Thank you very much. Our next question. Winterset has a proud tradition of incredible fine and performing arts programs. As a school board member, how will you actively support the continued excellence of these programs?
I think fine arts, I was a part of the marching band and choir in high school. While I did not have a great singing voice, I did get to partake, and I know the importance of activities in fine arts, and so it will definitely be something that I will continue to tell all the members that we need to find ways to support them and keep them alive and well.
I think encouraging people in our community to come and see what's going on at our district is one way to support our fine arts. We have amazing fine arts programs here, and also encouraging students to be involved in the fine arts. I don't know if you know this, but at the junior high level, I think 90% of our students are involved in a school-sponsored activity, whether that be fine arts or athletics or a club, and I think that's outstanding. At the high school level, I think it's more like 75%, but I think that kids gain a sense of belonging when they're parts of those groups, and I just think that's huge that our kids want to and have those opportunities to be involved in so many different things, and it gives them skills to be successful adults.
I would agree. Fine arts are imperative, just as are athletics and other endeavors. And the studies have shown that kids are more successful when they have these extracurricular activities and these other groups to belong to. keeps them inspired, keeps them engaged. I would do everything I could to support those programs, and it's important that we have those draws for students and that we have the unique ability, I think, as a smaller district for a lot of kids to participate that maybe in some of these larger districts they wouldn't be able to, especially with sports and things. But I think we have great programs, and I'd love to continue supporting it from there.
I think one of the ways that we support right now is through the use of social media. If you're a social media follower, you will see all of the accolades that our fine arts kids are getting, our student athletes are getting, and I think that is important. I'm not personally a fine arts person. You would not want me to sing, you would not want me to dance, either one. But I love watching anything that our students participate in, and I think that's important. And I look at the timeline of our schools, the different things that we offered. It used to be there was one school musical, there was one school play, now there's all the drama activities, there's all the debate activities, there's all of those activities which the more we can offer our students, the better off we'll be. So that would be where my support lies, is to just try and give students more activities to be involved in.
Thank you. There's a little bit of setup on this one, a little bit of reading first. Lately, there has been an increase of out-of-state special interest groups pushing agendas that politicize our traditionally nonpartisan school board. What will you do as a school board member to ensure that decisions are being made based on the reality of the Winterset Community School District instead of talking points from a national political group?
I feel as though I'm pretty connected to our community. Having grown up here, I know a lot of older generation as well as my age group and younger, so I'm constantly talking to people in our community, whether that's just community members, parents, or teachers as well. So I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what's going on at school and how things are going, and I think touching base with those people on a regular basis will be important, and just keeping the focus on the students and what is required of them by the state. You know, are we meeting our learning targets and all that?
I believe there's no place for political ideologies in education. The focus should be on academics, athletics, fine arts, like we've discussed. And I think the board needs to ensure that that remains the case so that these kids can focus and that we create free thinkers that are lifelong learners.
So I wrote down some things as the question was being read. I think the first one is I would need to do research on what the agenda was and to see if it affects our kids. I think everything that the school board does needs to reflect back to kids in our district. What is the real-time feel for our school and what's really happening within the Winterset district? And so I guess I would research, I would ask questions. I'm sure the superintendent and the other administrators get information from IASB or what other organizations, the WCEA, whatever it might be, and I guess it's to disseminate all of that, and then, again, it's all about the kids.
The thing that keeps coming to my mind is students learning doesn't have a political party. Supporting our teachers doesn't have a political party. And I know there are influences and things that come down, and it sounds like it's addressed with school board members when there's new legislation, and then we find out how it affects Winterset. And that is done by talking to others, different groups. I think being a part of different I'm a part of a committee here, the student, or the school improvement advisory committee, listening to parents, listening to professionals. I also love how we include community members to see what their thoughts are on the things that are being talked about and how it impacts our students. And so just to keep the focus on how it best affects how it affects our students in the best way we can help them here in Winterset.
Thank you. Next question. What are some major issues you believe Winterset schools are currently facing, and how would you like to see the district handle those issues?
I think we're back to this.
Let's try. I think one of the ongoing struggles has been retaining teachers and just employee retention overall, and ensuring that we're fully staffed with skilled, competent people. Excuse me. In my industry that I work, which is the heating and cooling industry, commercial heating and cooling industry, I have 2 clients across central Iowa that are currently staffed right now and feel like they have a good team of qualified people. It's a constant struggle that I hear about on a daily basis to retain good help. And I think we need to do everything we can to create a good environment in our community and in our schools to ensure that we're drawing people in and we're bringing them in, and they're hopefully serving for as long as Gina did as a teacher, for example, and retiring from this district. So I think it's imperative that that struggle is addressed on an ongoing basis.
I would say teacher retention is our biggest opportunity for growth. And I think that along with that, it's community support. Every teacher needs community support, and the support that the district has been given by our community just keeps growing. So I think that's a plus, and I think that will help retain teachers. We need to make Winterset a destination community through our schools. Back in my day, I hate to say that, everything was Waukee. Waukee was great, and they are a great district, but I want everyone to say, Winterset is a great district. You need to go look at Winterset. You need to think about moving to Winterset. And then student opportunities to learn and what's offered. You look at the number of DMAT classes and everything that our kids have the opportunity to take. I think that's of the 3, that's the 3 opportunities that I see as biggest growth.
I agree with retaining teachers and associates. I think, however, like at the elementary school, I think it was 1 teacher that they needed to hire for this school year, and the elementary teachers love being there. So I think it has to do with outside factors too, so it's not just that Winterset's not a great place to be or that they don't want to be here. So I do believe in that, as well as associates. I think sometimes there's quite a turnover there, and the students can tell, and so it would be great to see associates stay longer. I also think I did a long-term sub for the school counselor, and I think teachers, from the sounds of it, they just are so overwhelmed with things outside of teaching. Addressing students' mental health, addressing students' health or problems, issues outside of school. It's all coming into the school, and I think the teachers are just overwhelmed and sometimes at a loss of what to do. There are great support staff there.
I'm going to have to agree with everyone as well. I believe that the biggest challenge that we're facing is just finding and retaining qualified staff, whether that be teachers or aides or bus drivers, whoever that may be. So one of the things we need to do is make sure that we're staying competitive as far as wages and making sure that we support our staff. One of the things that we're doing at the school right now, I think it's like a monthly, I hippo something, hippo, I can't remember, but it's for your hippocampus, right? They call it happy hippo, I think. But it's just, sometimes the school will reach out to members in the community and ask for support, and then they'll do something awesome for the staff, and it's just total mood booster. And just things like that, that keep our community great, our schools great, and attractive to families.
Thank you. This question has a little bit of a setup again. This past year, our governor signed universal private school voucher legislation into law. It's also known as the educational savings accounts. Although the state will reimburse districts a small amount for the loss of enrollment, tens of millions of dollars are still expected to be diverted from our area's public schools. Now the question, what is your position on education savings accounts, also known as private school vouchers?
So I am a huge proponent of public school since I've been in the public school system forever. But with that being said, not every student fits into the public school, or the public school doesn't fit the need of every student. So there are options and opportunities that we feel students need to have. With the voucher system, the way I have tried in the last 2 weeks to research it as best I can and understand it, we need to level the playing field no matter what. If they're taking public dollars, I believe that they need to have the same expectations that the public school has with those public dollars. They need to have the same reporting, that they just can't take the public dollars and use them. They need to say what they're using them for, just like our school district does. So public schools would be my #1 goal, but I can see where students might need that goal somewhere else.
I have done a little bit of research as well on this, and it sounds like there are so many other opportunities, programs, state-funded, free programs that will help students with the needs that are out there. And I used to work at a private school, so I understand the need for private schools, and I get it. I was only there a year, but I am still very much proud to be part of a public school, and I think the funding should stay here.
I'm not sure that the vouchers are really truly what is best for all students. I'm running for school board of a public school. My children attend a public school, so obviously I'm a big supporter of public schools, public education, public teachers. And like I think Gina said, public schools, or private schools, excuse me, do not have to abide by all the same regulations that public schools do. So for example, private schools do not have to accept children with special needs, whereas there's a place for all students in our public schools. So my concern would be that if the vouchers are taking away funding from public schools and the public schools are running low on funding, there may have to be cuts made here, or they may be allowed to pull funding from other important programs like Talented and Gifted, or professional development, or teacher leadership.
I'm in support of choice, and I believe that each child is unique and has different unique needs. Now that being said, I am absolutely a proponent of public schools. My children are in Winterset, 6th and 8th grade, and will graduate from Winterset schools, hopefully, knock on wood. And I'm not a fan of taking any funds from the public schools, but competition is also sometimes good because it keeps us sharp, and it means that we need to make sure that we are a draw and we're a destination for parents to bring their kids. Hopefully the impact isn't severe, but if it is, then we're going to have to make sure that we're being fiscally responsible with our budget to compensate for that. I don't foresee that being a massive problem in Winterset. There's currently one private school that only goes through 6th grade. It appears that our enrollment has been down well before that voucher program it's been slowly declining, so I just don't see it being a significant problem myself.
Thank you. Some of you actually dabbled in the next question. So, looking at the budget as a whole, if cuts were to be made, what would you propose cutting? And then what would you fight to protect from budget cuts?
So this is something that I'm definitely going to have to learn more about. I had a little bit of an opportunity to look at our budget, and to be honest, from the sounds of it, when listening and talking with other people in the community and those working to help the budget at the schools, we don't want to make any cuts, and I don't think I am knowledgeable enough right now to even talk about that topic. So it would definitely need to have, or I would need to do some research, some listening, and talking with others before I could answer that question.
I also agree with Emily there. Luckily, we have a phenomenal business manager, and our school budget and finances are in a really, really great position right now. I don't really want to talk about cutting anything. You know, I want to support everything for all students. I just don't want to cut. I know that sometimes that's necessary, but I guess, you know, if you're forced to make cuts, you're going to have to prioritize, make a list of what is the, you know, most important, and go for there, make the best decisions for student learning.
I would concur. Did I lose it? Ditto. Yeah. I don't want to cut any budgets, certainly not. I want teachers to feel that they have the resources that they need to do their jobs. And I think it's something that, evaluating the budget, of course I've reviewed it, without having been a school board member and having talked to the teachers and administrators of where the struggles are and where the budget constraints are, it's very hard to answer that question. So definitely would need more information on that, but I'm not a fan of cutting anybody's budget. Everybody needs resources to do their jobs.
So ditto, can I just say that? I'm not sure I could say right now that I want to cut this program. There's no program that's good for kids that needs to be cut. With that being said, the money, there's only so much money, so you have to take that into advisement. I as a school board member could not say, well, I think we should cut all math classes. That would be the district administration to give us that advice, and then as a school board, we would have to make that decision from there.
Okay, thank you. Wanted to make sure I didn't leave out one of you. This again, a little bit of the setup. That came out as a setup. A little bit of the background until we get to the question. In Winterset, we pride ourselves on our innovative approaches to students' behavior and emotional needs. This includes our therapeutic classrooms in all of our buildings. We all know we are seeing an increase in negative student behaviors across the state. As a board member, what sort of policies would you pursue to promote behavioral, emotional, and social learning for our students?
Well, I believe we have discipline policy already outlined in the student parent handbook. So we would follow that. But we need to make sure that kids feel safe at school, and behavior is a huge part of that. I believe that the social, emotional learning part is very important to all students. We do the Capturing Kids' Hearts, I believe it is called, that promotes is kind of like a character curriculum. I know that we do that at the lower levels, which promotes, you know, empathy. I don't know how many times my kindergartner has come to me and talked about empathy this year. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So I think that the whole student needs to be, you know, and it's not just about academics, but we need to have the whole student, take a look at the whole student and make sure that their mental health is in good order too.
with Sam on that as well. The behavioral and social policies are crucial, and we need to be ensured that the school board will adapt as the needs change, if they do change, and that we're listening to the teachers who are working with these children every day to determine if there are additional needs that need to be met. It's coming out. Okay.
Might have to share.
Oh, sure, sorry.
I think, but anyway, on that note, I think it's important that we're also supporting the associates and the paras that are assigned to maybe some of the kids that are having more challenges, and the counselors, and ensure that they all have the resources that they need. Everybody, I think, has the right to an education. We just need to ensure that we're customizing it when needed.
Again, it's making students safe and comfortable. We need to make sure that our teachers have enough professional development, our associates have enough professional development to know what is needed for the student or students they're working with. Those programs, Capturing Kids' Hearts, we talked about the Happy Hippos Day, I think is what it's called. I mean, we're taking care of our teachers' mental health, we need to take care of our students' mental health just as much as anyone else.
Yes, I think, I don't know exactly where I saw this, but a student that doesn't feel safe is not going to learn. And I agree with that 100%. And so I've been able to observe Capturing Kids' Hearts, social contracts, and those are the things that teachers do with the students where they come up with what they believe. I don't like using the rule or the word rules, but they come up with a list of things they want their classroom to look like, and then all of them sign it. And then there's like a set of questions that if that contract is broken, the teacher goes through those questions with each student, and it's like their ownership of what they've done and how it affects their classroom, but also how it affects their learning. And then I was really fortunate enough last year to attend, I think it was called a parent cafe, where they talked about suicide and trauma-informed care, and how trauma influences students' learning and how it impacts not just grades or state testing, but how it affects them socially here in our schools.
Okay. Before we get to the last two questions, take a deep breath. Thank you again. That's tough to be put on the spot. All of these questions came from what community members had submitted and then got selected that way, if you're wondering where we got these questions. None of them came out of my mind. Next one. You'll like this one. What excites you about the future of Winterset Community Schools?
I love meeting people in the community. My daughter, Ella Cunningham, is in 8th grade, and my daughter, Katie Cunningham, is in 6th grade. And it is so inspiring and enlightening when we are out in public and they know more people than I do, and they introduce me to people, and they thrive. They thrive in Winterset. And I really look forward to them staying here for their entire academic career through high school. So I think we have something really special in this small town, and I'd like to retain that. That really excites me. And just to meet all their friends and know that they're doing well and they're excelling. And just to see so many successes with academics and athletics, and the fine arts, all of it. To see so many kids thriving is really inspiring to me.
I think what excites me most are all the changes that have happened in the last 50 years of our school system, and looking to see where the next 50 years will take us. Just the opportunities for our students are huge. The opportunities for our teachers, everything, just, knowing the kids. That's probably what I miss the most is, having kids run up to me and say, "Mrs. Robinson, can I touch your hair?" that was just one thing, and it's just, you know, as little kids, because I did work with preschool, and that was just something that touched my heart, and it still touches my heart, and I see my grandkids coming into the district, and what the future holds for them is immeasurable.
I had the opportunity of being a part of a long-term sub job where the teachers had just gotten back from another district and learning new techniques in the classroom. And so the students got to lead a huge project where they developed a mural of a different habitat, and the students pretty much led it all. And so it was so exciting to see how excited the teachers were to learn new things, and then how they were able to implement them, and then how it impacted the excitement students had for their own learning. And so I'm excited to see what more, because they went on a trip to Kentucky, I think, this past summer, and the Disney World of Schools or something like that. And so they are all talking about all these new things that they're going to do to really help each and every student, because one student was really good at art. One of the students was really good at sharing the facts, because they liked public speaking and knowing all the things. And so they all were able, in their groups, to show like how they learned and how they were able to show what they learned. Like, it was really incredible and exciting.
Well, I love kids, and I love education, I love teachers, I love our community, so what is there not to be excited about? I'm also really excited about the authentic learning that we have going on in our schools and the focus on that in the future. Just for example, I know there's been some mock interviews going on in the high school and feedback given on those. The junior high hosted a career day recently. Mr. Henry's coffee cart is really cool. My third grader was learning about money in school, and then got to use her money to buy snacks from a snack shop. She thought it was the coolest thing ever. The Husky News at the middle school, if you've checked that out, that is really neat. Along with, I think it was 9th grade that presented Shark Tank ideas to local business owners recently. So that authentic learning that is happening and that we're focusing on is really exciting to me. I also just love that my kids love going to school. They have great relationships with their teachers, and the teachers are positive, and those relationships are amazing.
Thank you. And this is the last question. What is your final pitch to voters as to why they should get your support in the upcoming election?
First of all, I want to say thank you to the other candidates that are running. I think this is an amazing opportunity. I want to thank all of you out there that took time from your day to come and listen and learn about all of us so you can make an informed decision. I guess my pitch is, I love our district. I've been here forever. I want to continue to see good things happen. I'm a good listener. I try and think outside the box. I'm also a good questioner, I believe, so I ask questions when I see fit. So I would appreciate your vote. I think we have 4 very viable candidates for 3 positions, and thank you.
I have to say thank you too for coming tonight. Thank you to us for the opportunity to be able to serve our district and our students and our staff in a whole different way. I also think we talked about, the role of a school board member and the importance of listening and empathy, and how that happens when you are in the schools and you get to see students all the time and work with the staff. It's been really amazing to hear the staff and how they're willing to do anything for their students. And so I think too, it's been really great to see people collaborate, and it's people of all backgrounds. It's not just certain people and certain things. It's really, the focus has been on students. And so I think that's one of the things of being a school board member, is focusing on what's best for our students.
I think that I have many characteristics that would make me a good school board member. I'm a good listener, I am approachable, and I'm not afraid to ask questions as well. My background in education and mathematics, I think, will serve me well, serving on a school board. And I just really want to give back to our community. I feel like our family in particular has been very blessed by people in our community that give their time or give their talent to our kids and our family through may it be clubs like 4-H or through the church or through athletics. And I just felt like this is a perfect opportunity using my background that I can serve our awesome community. So thank you so much for coming and showing interest tonight, and thank you, candidates, as well.
I would like to thank everybody for being here tonight as well, and especially the candidates. Serving in a volunteer role like this is sometimes thankless, but I think that we have a great panel of candidates here. And my experience in Winterset, in the 10 years that I've lived in this district and my kids have gone here, has been amazing. It's clear to me that the teachers care about my kids and they care about all of your kids as well. They've been doing a fantastic job, and I would love to support them as well as everybody up here in the community as well. In serving on the School Improvement Advisory Committee, it's terrific to see community members and business members from the community involved and everybody engaging and collaborating to ensure that we're doing the best thing that we can for those kids. I am naturally a curious person by nature, and I'd love to apply my strong leadership skills.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in to become informed voters. And again, thank you for taking the time to not only be here tonight, but to volunteer to be on the school board. Let's give them a round of applause.